Hey guys, how are you? If it's Sunday, it's No Oxygen Live. I'm here with JC.
And good afternoon, people.
How are you? So listen, we know it's Super Bowl Sunday, so we're only going to be on here for an hour or so as we discuss the events of the past week, the news events, and the whole spiel of government and stimulus and the crazy and all the like. So once again, I'm Lord Timotheus, and I'm here with JC.
Yes, and we're talking about Super Spreader Sunday.
Okay, well, then we might as well go ahead and start with that then.
Well,
okay, guys, like I said, it's the Super Bowl, and stories have been popping up left and right that the pandemic doesn't exist. They're partying like it's 1999, and it is interesting.
Well, I mean, what can I say? People are stupid. If you are willing to die and risk putting your family in harm's way to watch a game, you really should have your intelligence quotient looked into and evaluated. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah. I mean, we knew it was going to happen. The minute they tell you not to do something, they're just going to go out and do it in full force. Now, come on. It's Florida. We just learned last week that a grocery store has decided that they wanted to act like the coronavirus didn't even exist.
But trust me, that executive or the owner of that grocery store, he knows it exists.
Of course
it's a political statement, and it's him being it's the hubris of his existence. He's one of those, he's just an asshole. What can I say? I mean, did you see him on TV? I mean, my goodness.
Well, he turned out to be one of the guys who went to the insurrection as well.
Of course.
Now, I don't know if he stormed the Capitol or not, but he sponsored buses or a bus to go up there. And he is a well-known Trump supporter.
And probably part of the KKK.
Oh, well.
Yeah. You heard it.
It's JC, y'all. You know how that goes. Anyway, yeah, they're what's that DJ's name? Throwing weekend parties, splashing champagne on people. It's Florida. They never worn masks anyway, so I'm not surprised.
I guess people are so bored with their lives. I don't know if you want to call it quarantine. I mean, quarantine is technically meaning you quarantine yourself because you think you've been exposed, but lockdown and staying inside is a little bit different. And I guess people are bored with the lockdown and they just want to risk their lives by going out and having these illegal gatherings. I don't know. It's stupid.
Well, I'm stupid as it is. Okay, so to the NFL's defense, the stadium that they're holding it in holds 65,000 people. They're only going to have 25,000 people there socially distanced, and a portion of them are going to be the first response, the critical care nurses and such.
During a very hotspot pandemic area, with all the variants seeping in, they've got 25,000 people, which is completely outrageous.
Well, it's an open air stadium.
Too bad.
I'm just saying.
It should be 25 people, not 25,000. The problem is that you're going to have people congregating. Those 25,000 people have to use the bathroom. They have to go get their beverages and their refreshments. They're going to gather. They're going to talk about the game. Some probably won't wear masks. They're going to be infected. It's a super spreader event.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
And it's not fair to the frontliners.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying they're going to push their safety measures more than they're going to take your mind off of the fact that it's a super spreader event.
All right. Let's talk about the weekend.
Okay. He is the halftime show.
Yeah. So, which I don't really understand. Is he that mainstream enough to be a halftime show, or is just a fill-in?
Apparently the NFL thinks he is.
Who's his fan base? I don't know. Is it Generation Z?
Look, he's Canadian. I guess he's popular because they're people who choose these things.
All right. So what's the gimmick he's got on his face?
Look, I don't know. It's a character he's playing with the makeup and the prosthetics, because I think the first album was him. The album tells a story, because when he was on Saturday Night Live, he had his face all in bandages,
It's a gimmick.
and then of course now it's, I don't know. I guess.
There's lots of money in gimmicks. Don't get it twisted.
I guess.
But good. All the more power to him. I mean,
I guess.
I'm sure he's talented. I mean, I don't have any of his music, but
Oh, well,
there you go.
I mean, he sounds a little whiny to me, but that's that. Hey, C. Tomlin, how you doing? I see that you've joined us. Thanks for popping in on this Super Bowl Sunday. So, we're going to move on from the Super Bowl to what's on everybody's mind, the stimmy checks. Okay, so the Democrats in the House have paved the way to allow the Democrats who have the slim majority in the Senate to approve the stimulus bill. Now,
does that include the alleged $1,400 third check that they're dangling in front of millions of Americans' desperate faces? Is that?
Well, there's been some dispute about the amount because Biden said 2,000, and remember, some of us got, because I know some of us are still waiting on the stimulus check of January. Some of us got $600, and the $1,400 will add up to 2,000. Now, I know Biden has said that he wanted 2,000 in addition to the 600,
right,
but that has been watered down.
And they can totally do it.
And what's making me irritated about Joe Biden is he's trying so hard to work with these Republicans. He is kind of reneging on the promises he's made, or it appears to be he's reneging on the promises he's made, like the $15 cost of living increase, minimum wage increase.
It's not negotiable when people are fucking starving.
Well, they're taking that out.
What are they going to do? It's like, oh no, I'm sorry. Here's your $1,000 check, which ain't shit. And we're not going to give you $1,400. I mean, where did they even come up with that figure? They deducted the 600 from 2,000 because, I mean, it's just a joke.
Well, all I can tell you is write your Congress people if they listen to you. They're already watering down the bill. They didn't want the bill to be split apart so they can, they didn't want to have to argue with, the GOP, who appears to me to seem to still have a lot of power in Congress. Nothing seems to be getting done. Lindsey Graham's allowed to hold up the nominations for the Justice Department. I just don't understand. I know it's only been 18 days. I know. And I know we want him to got.
Lindsey Graham should not be in office anywhere. He's just garbage.
Okay, let's stay on topic.
Okay, I digress.
We're going to talk about Lady G in a few minutes.
Yeah.
But the thing is, now they want to target who gets the $1,400, as well they should, but that's a provision that the Republicans want in. And the point is, they shouldn't be allowed to negotiate anything with this bill.
Republicans should not even be
because
deciding.
It's their constituents who need it the most.
Republicans should not be deciding who gets this money, period. The Democrats have all three chambers, or however you want to. It's inhumane.
That's what my problem is with the Democrats. And I know you guys know how I feel about them. They're weak with messaging, and they're weak on their stance for the American people. They claimed that they wanted to get this done fast and quick, but they're so worried about getting bipartisan participation.
Well, like you said,
they're going to ruin it.
They've only been in power 18 days. We've got to, give them a couple more days. I mean, not a couple more weeks, a couple more days. And, because Schumer and Harris, they're not going to stand for this. I'm sorry.
Well,
they're just not.
I don't know what to tell you. The longer we wait, the longer it seems like the Republicans are getting their way. And it's funny to me, he's so worried about getting bipartisan support when it's clear there's a mandate. That's why they flipped Georgia. What they think is irrelevant. And it's their states who need it the most. That's what's irritating to me. The constituents of all these Republican states they're deciding for them that they don't need any of this stimulus. But then they can have it if you put in some of the things we want and you don't have the majority. That's what's pissing me off.
Yeah.
So
I hear you.
it's I don't understand it. It's, to me, the events of the insurrection tells me all I need to know about the GOP and how they're still trying to water down Trump's second impeachment over it and how they're going to just let him off again. It just amazes me.
Let's call it what it really is. It was a terrorist attack. It was no insurrection. I know that's the technical term. It was a violent terrorist attack. 6 people are dead. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well,
let's not forget.
Since you've segued into that, let's go. What's QAnon? They're the party now.
Well, I think QAnon is losing its, I don't know if you call them a member or a follower, a cult follower. I think I know you don't think it's diminishing, but I think it is. I mean, look what's going on at Fox. They've lost over 25% of their viewership. Okay.
I make my facial expressions. I know you guys comment on them a lot. You know what? Fox News is only doing what they're doing because they're trying to backtrack. All the damage they caused since Donald Trump was president, the $2 million is not enough in a lawsuit against these people. They should be shut.
I thought it was $2 billion.
down. Well, yeah, 2 billion. Sorry, excuse me. They should be shut down.
$3
They have allowed QAnon conspiracy theory to fester on that network. Their talent, I'm going to call them talent because they're not news anchors. Their talent has been repeating everything that these QAnon people say, and then it filters over to the White House where Trump was spewing it out on Twitter, which led to his being banished from Twitter.
Talent? That's a misnomer. Let's
Well,
call them bookings.
Well, if you ask them, they will tell you that they are not real news anchors. They're entertainment. That's why they don't fact check what they say. And now
they're talent-free talking heads. That's
well,
what they are.
Now their words have gotten them into trouble, and Lou Dobbs right now is the first scapegoat of that. Laura Ingraham needs to go. Tucker Carlson needs to go. Hannity needs to go. I don't know if Jeanine Pirro has gone already.
They're just like the worst people ever.
They're responsible for the problems that Fox News is having right now.
Who would watch these horrible personalities? I don't get it. They're just hateful people. I hate them all.
Well, Midwesterners, people who don't think for themselves.
Mean, low IQ people. That's who. And the thing that's shocking about everything that has transpired over the past 5 years is I always knew that there were stupid people. I just didn't know there were that many. Okay?
Oh, well, that sounds familiar.
Yeah. But I've always thought it.
Well, we saw this week that Kevin McCarthy of the GOP has decided to smack Marjorie Taylor Greene on the wrist because he realizes that she is now their party.
She really is a narcissist.
He realizes that they can do nothing but strip her of her work assignments, which really doesn't do anything for anybody because we still have to pay her salary, guys. She gets $174,000 a year until she is voted out. And she probably won't be voted out because where she came from, they believe in Q.
I don't even know what to say about that, Taylor.
And not to mention, she got a standing ovation on the day that they voted to strip her of her committee assignments. So if that doesn't tell you that that is now their party, you have your head buried in the sand.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
Well, disgusting it is, but this is America. This is what America is, at least the GOP right now. And that's why none of them are saying anything, because they are scared of being primaried. Look what's happening. We discussed it last Sunday. Look what's happening to Liz Cheney. She obviously by secret ballot won the right to keep her job in her committees and being third in charge of the House, while by a public vote, they voted to get rid of Marjorie Taylor Greene. So there were more Republicans secretly willing to save You see my point? I know it came out wrong, but y'all see where I'm going. One was a secret ballot and one was not. Meanwhile, she's getting standing ovations while all this is happening. And on the flip side, the Senate, Mitch McConnell is calling her, this is not the Republican Party, this is not what we represent. Well, it must be. It must be. Because you're going to vote to not acquit Donald Trump because, for fear of angering these people to keep your job.
How is Mitch McConnell even still there? It's like, what? He needs to be in a rocking chair somewhere. It's just a joke. We need some like...
Look, I told you guys I wasn't going to comment on Biden until he had a couple of weeks under his belt. But guys, y'all, Biden is being manhandled by the Republicans. He's letting them because he wants to be liked and he wants to present unity. They don't care. They don't care about any of that. They don't. They just want their way and they want to stay in power.
Yeah.
And I don't know why Biden doesn't understand this. I bet you Kamala Harris, I'm sorry, Vice President Harris, correction,
Veep,
is stewing in her juice behind all of this foolishness. Let's take advantage of the majority while we have it and worry about unity later.
Right.
Let's get the American people what they need right now. Because this is why we're where we are. Everybody wants to work together. It's clear they don't want to work with us. They never have. And you know the conversation we had this morning. Now, you guys weren't in on it, but I will share it with you. JC and I were talking about what is the real root of racism? Why is it still around? Why hasn't it been eradicated? And you guys know how I feel about it. And what did you say?
Well, my God, I was talking about different facets of it and examining the fabric of it. Like, well, you had sort of a debate about something I was pulling out. Refresh my memory.
I was just saying how it's a weak argument that when white people say that they're tired of hearing about what their ancestors have done to the state of America today and why we're always bitching about it, because nothing ever changes. And I was just explaining to you the false equivalent that white people have when they say they're tired of hearing about it and how it wasn't me, but you benefit from it. And if you don't say anything, you are complicit in the thinking. And I know some of you are white allies, and I know some of you aren't racist. But when you vote to send people like Lindsey Graham and Mitch McConnell and Josh Hawley and Ted Cruz to Washington, that's what you're saying to Black and brown people. You don't want fairness for them. You like things the way they are. You don't see that there's a problem, but you're not racist. But it kind of makes you racist just a little bit if you don't want to see the big picture of it all. It's what I was trying to explain to you.
Right. But that's not what I was talking about.
Okay, well, share it with them. What were you saying?
Forgive me, I hadn't had my coffee yet, and it escapes me what I was saying about that. And then it segued into we had the debate about whether or not the Kardashians are considered white or Armenians.
Well, I went on a tangent about it. I know you guys.
They're ethnic people.
Well,
Kardashians are ethnic.
Sure, and I was telling JC on their job applications they check white.
Right, because they've been assimilated into American society.
They check white
to escape genocide. God knows when.
And that was our discussion. I don't care what they're calling themselves. I don't care who they sleep with. And I've told him before, he and I have slept with the Kardashians. They sleep with everybody. We just don't realize that we've slept with them.
They have slipped into white America.
Oh God, for a minute, when it didn't benefit them.
As quickly as how does she say it? As quickly as vermouth into gin.
Look, I don't even want to talk about them. And that's the part. I don't even want to talk about them.
No, of course.
The point is, we're never going to fix race until it is fully addressed. Oh, that's how we got started. Biden wanted to get rid of all of the credit bureau reporting bureaus to make it fair.
Equifax or something like that.
Equifax, Experian, and the other one.
Yeah.
He wanted to get rid of them to create fairness in the credit reporting and have a new commission.
Oh, right. Right. And you were saying that it's all about white neighborhoods, people not wanting blacks to buy a home in their white neighborhoods.
Well, that was the basis of then there was the Fair
Which
Credit
is the
Reporting Act,
stupidest
which
thing
has
I've
been
ever
watered
heard.
down. What's the girl's name from Warren? What's her first name?
Elizabeth?
Elizabeth Warren is starting a commission on Fair Credit Reporting Acts, and
Yes.
Biden wants to use her commission instead of the 3 credit reporting bureaus.
Yes.
That's the basis of the story that was in the headlines.
I love Liz Warren.
And that's what started the whole conversation off. And then you know how one thing segued into another.
Well, it's that old argument. If you have black people and families move in, you're inviting in crime and violence, which is just the stupidest thing in the world.
We know that.
Right, but that's where
we know that. But then that's where that's when you have your white allies who won't educate themselves on what redlining is and why there aren't any black people on their street, but they're not racist. They're not racist.
Yeah. I have an old aunt. She's got one foot in the grave, and she grew up in the Chicago suburbs in the 50s and 60s, all white neighborhood. And then in the 80s and 90s, Mexican families started moving in, and she couldn't handle it. And I said, what is wrong with these Mexican families? Are perfectly fine, upstanding citizens. What is, it's racism. And you know what? Everybody has an aunt that's a racist, whether you want to know it or not. I mean, I'm from a big family, so chances are I'm going to have probably somebody who's a racist in my extended family, especially people I don't talk to. And she's somebody I don't talk to. It's just an interesting demographic.
But that's just the point, though. Excuses are made for these people. Well, that's how they were raised. That's all they know. I'm sorry. I don't want to hear that anymore. I'm not buying that at all anymore. If you are quiet and you know something is systemically wrong based on color, you are part of the problem if you're quiet about it.
Well,
and that's just the bottom line. And I keep telling people all the time, it starts at the local level. When you elect a racist at the local level who wants to keep their status quo and not allow fairness for everybody, it trickles up. That's how you end up with a Mitch McConnell and a Lindsey Graham and a Josh Hawley who needs his face punched in.
What's perplexing for me is that I know this aunt. I mean, she's actually smart. I mean, she's intelligent, but how could you be intelligent and be a racist and be...
It happens all the time. Smart people are racist
about it.
And I just told you, they don't want black and brown people having what they have. How else can you explain it?
I know, but it's beyond ignorant to even think that.
I know, but you keep talking this way. Though that doesn't help the cause. We already know what keeps them ignorant. You keep speaking this way.
Okay.
It doesn't do any good for you. Except remind me that they're ignorant.
It's just frustrating. It's just frustrating. That's all.
But it doesn't have to be frustrating. It doesn't have to be. Why do you think Republicans try to do what they do at local elections, at the local election area? They gerrymander and say how long polling places can be open. That's where it starts. And if they're successful, it trickles up to mayor races, and then it trickles up to governorships, then it trickles up to here we are. And that's what's been allowed to happen in America.
Yeah.
Right under our nose. And then they put these policies in that keeps things in their favor, not allowing for fairness for everybody else.
Yep.
And this is where we are today. And then all of a sudden you get a guy that comes along and presses buttons within this system, and he becomes president and makes all of that shit worse. All the while enriching himself while being president. And then leaves all of this mess behind for a career politician who's been around the block, who knows what he's dealing with, to clean up, all the while trying to make it appear he wants to be friends with the people who actually punched him in the face. This is where we are. This is where we are. And I'm sorry. I'm glad Joe Biden won. I'm glad we have all three branches of the government. But you know what? If you don't affect change in the 2 years you've got, you're going to lose it. Because QAnon, they are going strong in the House of Representatives. And the senators are quiet because they know these people will keep them in their jobs.
I like how Biden.
This is where we are, people.
Biden has declared that Trump will not see the briefings for security going forwards. I mean, is that a done deal, or is
it isn't?
Does that have to be voted on?
I don't know how that works. I think that's with the FBI and the CIA because that's where that information comes from.
Yeah.
But I know Congress has to pass a resolution that he doesn't get it because
I mean, even if he did get them,
everything's done through Congress.
Even if he did get them and did something nefarious with that information, I don't even think it would be him because he doesn't read. He would probably give it to Ivanka, and then she would come up with some scheme to sell and barter this information or blackmail.
I get so annoyed
because they're crooks. That's what they do.
I just get
That's
so
how
annoyed,
their minds work.
but I get so annoyed with everything Trump because it appears this dude is allowed to skirt the justice system and skirt it and kick the can and lie and I know it's only been 18 days, y'all, but you have to consider this. Lindsey Graham is refusing to convene the Judiciary Committee until after the impeachment because the acting attorney general can't really make decisions based on Trump's fate. They need the actual confirmed AG to do that and take over the entire Justice Department. That's why my theory, it's just a theory, that's why Letitia James of the Southern District of New York is pausing until the actual Justice Department heads get in so the wheels of justice can work in tandem with each other. Because remember, Trump didn't pardon himself, which he couldn't. He didn't pardon any of his children. And the charges that are at a state level can easily trickle up to a federal level. I'm thinking they're waiting to put all these blocks into place. But yet again, Lindsey Graham, Lady G, got her damn mouth where it don't belong. Again, as usual, holding up the committee hearings. Now, Schumer has already said we can do the business of Congress and impeach and convict Donald Trump at the same time. But no, my theory is these guys are trying to clean up their mess before this Justice Department gets confirmed and all of these charges go out to see what they've been doing the past 4 years. That's my theory. And I think any blind person can see that's where that's going.
I just don't understand how the Trumps got COVID and seemingly survived, but who knows? You know what they say, if you get COVID, after that, it's a lifetime of health problems. And let's not forget, he's a 75-year-old obese, heart diseased human being that probably won't last another 5 years. But my point is, it seems like evil people are immune.
I've been saying that.
As Satan protects them.
I've been saying that.
Satan protects them. And that bitch trophy wife of his, third-rate trophy wife, let's be honest. I mean, she wears those sunglasses every time, so people can't see her soulless eyes.
I've been saying that.
Yeah.
I've been saying it. I'm telling you right now.
And look at Trump's. You even said Trump's ugly mug came up on the TV the other day, and you said, "Look at him! My God, just 2 weeks out of office, and he's already aged like 10, 15 years on his face. He's already like bloated." But you know what? One's life ultimately comes out on one's face. Okay.
I guess
plenty of lies, plenty of grabbing people by the P word. I don't know why I'm saying P word.
Well, look, Amanda Henn, I know you guys know her from TikTok.
Hey, Amanda.
She lives in, she's, I don't know if she lives there, but she has a house.
I miss her Fuck 'em 2020 videos.
She has a house in Palms Beach, West Palm, and they've already concluded that Donald Trump can stay. So the dude is just a professional shyster.
Who's they? Who is they?
The city council. The city council. They found some loophole,
a quantity of two assholes.
They found some loophole, and he can stay. the paperwork he signed back in the 80s when he opened that place, saying he couldn't live there full time. Somehow he found a way around it.
Fuck him in the loophole. There you go.
And look, he's got a mountain of trouble coming his way. I just want him to get got right now.
Yeah. All right, let's move on.
Okay.
Yeah, so I wanted to, now we're going to really talk about a little, well, this is sort of history. I saw something on social media the other day about, I don't know, if the Flight 800, TWA Flight 800.
Mm-hmm.
I had a friend of mine actually perish on that flight. And that was in 1996 off the coast of Long Island.
Mm-hmm.
And people are posting, I don't know why it's coming up, but people are posting, you know, little videos on how the plane went down. And I'm just calling it, I believe that that was accidentally shot down and covered up by the Navy, because naval ships were out there
Allegedly.
in the Long Island Sound, or even in the Atlantic. Was it the Sound or the Atlantic? Honestly, I can't. It's been like 25 years. They were testing, and one of my friend's employees who lives on the shore there, their whole family was out that evening, and they saw it with their own eyes. Now, I spoke to her the next day after this crash, and she said that there were like about 85 eyewitnesses on the shore that saw an object such as a missile go from the water to the plane, and it exploded. So this theory that there was some center fuel tank explosion because it sat on the tarmac in the middle of summer for 2 hours before taking off, and the heat exacerbated the loose wires around the center fuel tank and it made it explode. Give me a fucking break. Now, if that happened, we'd have all kinds of explosions on 747s. That doesn't happen. That thing was shot down. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I mean, that's just, I did all kinds of research afterwards with the NTSB. They've put that thing back together in some hangar. All the parts are put back together. And there is clear evidence that there, on the fuselage, that there is an entrance, not an exit explosion. In other words, the missile went in, and it shows on the metal parts of the crust of the plane. And a lot of that part of the plane, they didn't have, for some reason at the time, they didn't have 24-hour security protecting that hangar. And people went in like at 3 o'clock in the morning and somehow manipulated those parts. I know it's
a lot.
No, don't even say it.
It's a lot of Da Vinci Code business you're talking about.
Anyhow, my point is, it was shot down, in my humble opinion.
A lot of people think that. So, you know.
And the funny thing is I was actually supposed to be on that flight with that friend of mine, and but we decided I would go another time to Paris with him. So
it wasn't your time.
I guess it wasn't my time. I just hope, well,
and lucky for us,
I hope that he didn't feel anything. He was in first class. That's where the front of the plane knocked off and fell into the ocean. They say on the death certificate that, you know, nobody in first class felt anything, because it was like hitting a
brick wall.
Well, it was like hitting a brick wall going 400 miles an hour. So
of course.
Everybody's neck broke instantly.
Wah, wah.
Well, that's what you want. I mean, if you are to die on a plane crash, that's how you want it.
If you are to die.
that's how you want it.
I see.
You don't want to be.
I see.
You don't want to suffer.
So if you're to die at all, period, for anything, you want it to be like.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be great? You could just press a button and that's it. Why do people have to suffer at the end of life? It doesn't make any sense to me.
Wow. Well.
Now we're getting deep.
Well, really, on a side note, though, I know you all have seen that video of the couple that got shot dead. I still don't know where that is. I guess a Google search could have figured it out.
And you showed it to my elderly parents yesterday.
Oh,
Now
she
they're-
loved it. She
now
says,
they're
"Oh, let me see it."
Yeah, now they're traumatized and will
Oh,
have
please,
nightmares for weeks.
Oh, she loved it. Yeah, it was something. It's the video's going around. Now I posted it up to TikTok. Of course, naturally, TikTok does what they do. They took it down. Yeah. And I saw a couple of comments in here. We're going to get to TikTok in a few minutes because, as you guys know, I'm taking a
TikTok, you
break.
don't stop.
I'm taking a break.
TikTok, you don't stop. You know who that's from?
I guess, yeah.
Disco ball. I bet a couple people will get the reference. Anyway,
Okay, yeah.
go on. Rosie O'Donnell.
Oh
yeah.
well, hell, we might as well just start talking about TikTok then.
Okay.
Let's see, where do I begin?
First of all, I know you're ambivalent towards TikTok. You have a love-hate relationship with TikTok.
Yes.
Okay. Sometimes you lose followers, and then you know what? The next week, you've gained 3 times as many.
Well,
There's an ebb and flow to that shit. It's cyclical.
Well, I'm losing followers now, and I'm fine with
No,
it.
but guess what? That means you're going to gain them. It's
Well,
bullshit.
I'm fine with it, really, though, because
That even happens with Charlie D'Amelio, who's got 100 million followers. She lost 1 million followers one week, and now she's back up.
I mean,
That's just the way it works.
well, I guess, but
I think there's a reset
my
button.
videos were informational. They were about the election and government and
Yeah.
such. And now all that's back to normal. I don't think people are interested in anything else but that. Now, I just get bored with talking about government when I know.
Then don't talk about it. Move on to something else. You don't
I-
have to say you're bored because you're not a boring person.
I'm bored with that topic. I can say that.
Okay, well, you're weary of it. You're not bored. I'm a real strong believer about that word bored. People that say that they're bored are boring. How could anyone be
Oh
bored?
God, look, you guys have got to know he is channeling his inner Fran Lebowitz right now.
Oh, please.
He's even doing the hand motions.
Deep Thoughts by
Oh my
Jack Candy.
God. Come on. Anyway, everyone's tempers started boiling over with TikTok when it came to that pedophile showing his private parts on the For You page.
Oh, was he a pedophile? I didn't know that.
Oh, he was arrested.
Pedo.
Anyway,
Oh.
everyone came to the conclusion about this, and the TikTok's practices all at the same time. So it would seem, and as it would also seem, people are still being punished for calling out irregularities in their community guidelines, and people are getting their accounts suspended for 7 days. I think Goddess Mia and Courtney's Official, they're all getting their accounts suspended from posting because they're reminding TikTok that, you know, you're going to violate me for this, but you're going to let pornography and nudity flourish, and racists and domestic terrorism. You're going to let all that stuff flourish. And I don't have the answer. I don't. Like I told you guys, when I'm over there on TikTok, they remove my stuff constantly. But you know what? I've decided not to get on the For You page and make videos to complain about it, because eventually somehow that gets you banned somehow. Now, I'm not doing any lives over there anymore. I'm doing all the lives here on YouTube because firstly, I want to bolster my subscribership. And I just think that you can say what you need to say over here without having someone looking over your shoulder and then having your lives banned. Because you know that's happened to me twice. Y'all were there.
But never say never.
Who's
I've
to
heard you
say?
say this before.
Well, I'm still going to post because I'm in their creator fund, and I'll just do
I know.
my little 10 videos.
But there's an ebb and flow to this shit.
And
so just
I'm
simmer
just,
down.
you know what? So if you guys are keeping up with me on TikTok and you don't see me, you can find me over here, or you can find me on Instagram. Now I'll be posting up, fluff stuff, but that's it. I'm not giving TikTok any more substantial 60-second videos just to be suppressed by them, because they've admitted it. That's what they're doing. They're suppressing Black
Well,
content.
just don't give them that, but you can give them other stuff.
It won't matter if people don't see it, they don't see it. I'm just going to keep posting, is my point. I'm not going to be on TikTok bitching and moaning and whining about it. It just is what it is. You guys see me, you see me. I am there. I'm not going to delete the account. I'm just not giving it the energy that I used to.
I don't think it's necessarily TikTok itself. I think it's the people. I think it's their staff. They have to manage their staff and train them appropriately for all of this stuff. They've just got all these people in there with their own agendas and opinions pulling the strings, and that's what's causing all of this rife, I think.
Possibly, you know, I don't know this with the sale or whoever. I know Larry Ellison of Oracle is in Walmart. I don't know. You're probably right, because if you noticed, they updated their community guidelines and then they started picking and choosing when to apply them. You know,
right.
It's funny.
And who is in charge of these community guidelines? That it's so what's the word? Not random. They're so arbitrary. They're completely arbitrary, and frankly, they're meaningless. I mean, yeah, we want to cut out pornography and violence, yes, but all the rest of those little like guidelines, that's bullshit.
Well, it's
guidelines. Give me a break. Guide this, bitch. You heard it.
It seems as if they just pick and choose what's offensive to them, or since Parler,
what they think is offensive to other people, which they are most of the time wrong.
There you go. Now, it stands to reason if you're suppressing Black content because Black creators are correcting ignorant white posts that are racist and homophobic and nudity, whatever. It would seem that they know that the demographic is largely white, so they coddle them more, not realizing, oh, it's their First Amendment right, yeah, but not considering that what they may be saying is offensive to creators that don't look like them. And then when we call that out, we're now in the bullying and a harassing category of the person who put up the initial racist. It's just weird to me. I don't understand how we get around it. So I'm just gonna.
No, they need to reboot their guidelines in a big way.
Well, I know there've been several videos speaking to the actual CEO and this Vanessa woman, and she is moot. She's quiet on the draw.
Black creators are getting shadow banned. They're getting banned.
It's true. It's true. In fact, I saw a video. I posted it to my page on TikTok, and it's Black History Month, so they praised all of the Black creators that are making waves, and they gave them awards and such and such and such, all the while suppressing their videos all in the same breath.
Now it's
very weird.
It's funny because isn't it interesting that you've had several, I don't want to call them controversial, but allegedly controversial videos banned or removed or whatever you want to call it, and then half of them maybe were re-uploaded, that they let them go. And I think you were banned from doing lives 1 or 2 times, but you haven't been banned
twice.
Why haven't you been banned?
You know what?
Or canceled is the word, I guess.
You know what? It's a time to choose your battle. Why? I mean, you asked me before, when they take a video down and you appeal it and then they give you their response, we've discovered that it still violates.
The bottom line is money. They know that you are still making those fuckers money.
Look,
that's what it's about. You're still making them revenue off of ads.
I'm just exhausted and I'm tired.
You have almost 300,000 followers.
I don't. Why do you keep inflating the numbers?
I'm not. I said almost.
JC does that, y'all.
Do you know what the definition of almost is?
He'll say, you got 10,000 views on this one video. I go to it as 950.
Almost.
He does this a lot.
I didn't say 300,000. Period. I said almost 300,000.
You just did. I'm gonna rewind the tape.
Oh, you rewind. Anyway, my point is, with 300,000, almost 300,000 followers on TikTok, you are a cash cow for them. They're not going to ban your ass.
Unless you say it's not that serious.
despicable.
It's not that cash cow because they're some of the bigger creators. Consciously has 1 million
Sweetie,
plus.
You are.
They still haven't verified
You
him.
are
They
in-
shadow ban his videos
No.
with 1 million followers.
You are
honey,
considered
thank
an
you.
influencer.
Thank you for all of your
You don't have
accolades.
to be
But
self-deprecating.
I'm
with
not.
me.
Well, my point is, I'm just telling you what the facts are. They have way more followers than me, and they're getting treated worse than me. Is the point.
My point is that you're an important influencer.
Thank you for saying all that. I appreciate it.
You do. Well,
Thank
thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Now let's move on.
Yeah, because I'm taking a break. So if you guys know, I'm only saying all of that to say this.
You're not
If you
taking
don't
a break.
see me, I'm taking a break from posting my usual content because you guys don't get to see it, is my point. Come here to see it and go over to Instagram to see it.
But don't leave TikTok.
I never said I was leaving TikTok.
Well, you're intimating that.
I'm not intimating that I would say I was leaving TikTok if I was leaving TikTok. Those words would come out of my mouth.
TikTok, you don't stop. TikTok, you don't stop. All right, listen.
Let's
talk about
all day long, this boy.
All right, enough about TikTok and Bitch McCuntle and all those people. Let's move on. What about this new? Oh, the Golden Globe nominations came out and the SAG Award nominations came out. And I advise everybody to look those lists up because there are some shows, there are people nominated for shows that I didn't even know existed. So my point is, a lot of people on lockdown are always trying to get their friends and family to recommend series or movies or shows on Netflix, Hulu, what have you. It's good to go through these lists to see what's actually going on because there were a couple shows there I didn't like. For instance, one of my favorite actresses, Jodie Foster, was nominated for The Mauritanian, and I thought, The Mauritanian? What the fuck? Where? How did I miss that? Well, apparently it's coming out on Netflix February 12th, and she plays a lawyer. I saw the trailer on YouTube. Don't miss it. I mean, I'm sure she's probably going to win. It's really about one of the people held in Guantanamo Bay, who I believe is from Mauritania, which is one of the. It's right. It's that.
When did you get a Netflix deal? You sure pushing them?
No,
is this something I didn't know about?
No, I'm just saying. Look up the. That's just my little tip for the day. Which. Now we can segue into something that really has been stuck in my craw lately is how they're doing let's just talk about how they remake movies, which I've always thought is a mistake.
Okay.
They're always bad. You mean
the remakes are bad?
Remakes are bad, right? And then what's even worse is when they remake a bad movie. Why would you remake a bad movie? We were watching some film that just happened to be on yesterday, and I thought, oh, Alicia Silverstone is in this. What the hell has she been doing? She's the actress from that hit Clueless. Well, I mean, it wasn't really a huge hit, but it was a cultural hit.
Okay.
In the 90s. And she's actually been making some films. And then I looked her up on IMDb. And she did a remake of Valley Girl, which was a failed movie in 1983 with Nicolas Cage. Valley Girl?
Does anybody know what he's talking about?
Anyway, why would you remake Valley Girl? Valley Girl, about the Valley Girls of the 1980s in the San Fernando Valley. Yeah, that song from Moon Unit Zappa. People must know what I'm talking about. Anyway,
okay.
So my point is, examples of bad remakes, which is just really bad, is like the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory one that was 10 years ago with Johnny Depp. Mildly entertaining, but no, you cannot mess with the original Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Sorry, no thank you, no thanks. Did you see? First of all, you
do realize almost everything has probably been remade at least once or twice. Some movies have been remade 4 times.
But if you're going to do it really, you have to really sit down and do it well. Did you see what they really fucked up in the remake of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? They fucked up the beloved Oompa Loompas. I mean, what they did was they took this Oompa Loompa character for the remake that didn't look like any Oompa Loompa I have ever known. Okay. and they put it in a CGI machine to create it 1,000 times, and then they just shot it across the screen and had him sing. And I thought, what is this garbage? Horrible. I wanted to walk out with my popcorn.
Now, how long have you been holding on to this
Gr-
anger over
this-
the remake of Willy Wonka?
It's just one of my pet peeves. The remakes, and and what about?
Are there any remakes that you do like?
Well, let's see. I can't really think of any.
So opinionated.
No, I mean, are there any remakes that you like?
I can't say that I've ever it's not that important to
No, a
me.
remake is not to be confused with a sequel. Okay, so
No.
'cause I don't.
Whoa.
Now I don't mind sequels, but when they try,
Really?
well, there's talk.
You're doing this in front of 21 of our closest
Oh,
friends.
please.
You're doing this right
I'm
now,
saying-
playing me for an idiot.
Who are the people that have the audacity to even? It's not even up for discussion to remake The Wizard of Oz. Are you fucking kidding me? Leave that classic alone.
So you're trying to tell me The Wiz, what didn't need to be made?
No, The Wiz,
Here we
I thought
go.
was actually genius.
Here we go.
But that was not a remake of The Wizard of Oz. That was just a black version of The Wizard of Oz, which was fabulous. Now, I'm sure.
So what you're saying, it was The Wizard of Oz reimagined with black people.
Yeah, but that's not a remake of The Wizard
Okay,
of
I'm
Oz.
going to need you to use your words,
Now,
sir.
I know that
use
they
your
did this
words.
other film like 7 years ago called Oz the Great and Powerful. Garbage CGI.
I know, but that was a
again.
sequel. The Wizard of Oz there's 3 or 4 books, and what that movie was one of the books.
All right, well, I stand corrected. I didn't see the film, but it seemed like a remake to me on some level. It just turned me off.
Oh my god!
Anyway, my point is, there should be no sequel to The Wizard of Oz. That's from 1939. Give me a break.
Well,
Sequel from 1939.
you know they're going to do it. You know they're going to make one because Hollywood is. That's.
And IMDb gave Oz Great and Powerful, I think like a 6.2 rating. And in my book, anything under a 7 rating on IMDb is a waste of time.
Okay, so
Unless, of course, it's an obscure, non-mainstream cult film.
if you guys haven't figured this out about JC, is he goes to Yelp. He goes
Yelp?
to.
I don't go to Yelp.
But you go to Yelp to see the reviews of something. He
Oh.
researches anything that we do.
Yeah, but I see what people
Everything
are
that we
saying about it
buy.
to see if
He has the app that scans ingredients on products. So when you hear him talking,
no, but that's facts. That's different.
my point is, I'm trying to give them an insight into who is JC.
My part of my research is to read reviews of other people. I don't buy them. I don't always say, oh, I'm going to believe these reviews. It's just a good way to evaluate my potential purchase. Okay.
Okay.
So I can tell when somebody is a disgruntled customer or had bad service. I can tell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. So I know this goes without saying, but if you follow me on TikTok, we do this segment called After Dinner Chat with JC, where he is not pictured. And if you gathered, this is the format of our Sunday lives here on YouTube. He's just sitting right here in front of me. He just wants to talk. He doesn't want to be pictured, just like we do when we finish dinner and at the kitchen table. We have our after dinner chats about
It's all about
what's
you, dear.
going
It's
on.
all about you.
No, it ain't about me. It's about and you guys wanted us to bring this over to YouTube in a long format. So this is what's happening. So this is only our 2nd episode. And we're going to keep doing them. We're going to keep doing them. We'll discuss what's happened in the week and his love, hate, and hate, love of remakes of movies. And hopefully in this interaction, you'll learn more about us as 2 grown men.
Regina
King.
King. She was nominated, so kudos to her. She will probably. Watch out. I'm sorry, Regina King is fucking fabulous.
You know,
and she's going to be hosting Saturday Night Live next week.
Listen, I just want you to know Regina King has always been the shit. You guys have just figured that out, though.
I know.
And I mean, you guys, I mean, mainstream Hollywood.
Oh, I've always.
Because since she was the daughter on 227, we knew she was going to be the shit.
Viola Davis, watch out.
I just don't think that the rest of the world knew that.
Yeah.
So there's that. And, you know, I don't think black and brown, I don't think any actor should be doing it for the love of getting an award for your work. There are actors who do it. And let's see, J-Lo famously, quote unquote, I want to get roles that'll put me into Oscar contention. Okay. How about being a better actress? Then that'll happen for you. You dance great. You look great. Your booty's great. But your acting, just saying.
The problem is there are thousands of actors, but talent, not everybody's talented. That's the problem.
Well, look.
Not everybody's talent. Somebody told them that they could be an actor and they were mistaken. They got lucky. They got the right agent. They got their foot in the door. It
kind of all is a lottery anyway, right? You know, there are great actors and singers and playwrights and that have yet to been discovered because they're in the shadow of people who are just awful.
Timing is everything.
God awful.
Timing.
And once they're in the position to be in there, they're afforded the opportunity to prove that their next project is better than their last.
Yeah.
And good writers and good singers and good whatever willing to take their place as this Hollywood and entertainment business moves on into the future. It's all a lottery system. Because then, to me, you see one blonde actress, you've seen them all. They're all the same. Sorry, they're
a dime a dozen.
You know, that's why there's the big five. You got Rihanna, Beyonce, Taylor Swift, I guess Ariana Grande now, and who's the other girl?
Mariah Carey.
Yeah, I guess. No other singer has cracked that code. No, because they're like the supermodels of that thing. And they can't crack the code. And now there are better singers, certainly. We just don't know about them yet. They're never going to reach a Beyonce type stratosphere because Beyonce owns where she is. That's her area. Mariah owns her area.
Don't you like
Ariana Grande owns her little area.
Love me some Mariah.
You know, because if it was that easy, everybody would be singing. Everybody would be acting. I mean, come on.
If anybody, once the pandemic's over, if anybody can get to a Mariah Carey concert, I would recommend that. That is she is so talented. I was lucky enough to see her in New York like 15 years ago, and I wasn't like a big fan so much, but when I saw her live, wow, she turns it out.
Much due respect, but I'd rather shoot myself in the face.
No, I don't understand. Like,
I can't hear that screech. Yes. Her and that Ariana Grande, that screeching would drive me insane.
Yeah, but you would trip over everybody to get to a Beyonce concert.
Actually, we've been to a Beyonce concert, and no, I sat politely in my seat.
Oh, give me a break.
I sat politely in my seat.
When she came out with that sequin blue pantsuit and did that, everybody get up. Oh my God.
I sat politely in my seat.
Went bananas.
First of all, I'm not that. I get excited behind seeing someone that I like, sure, but I'm no fanatic about it.
Yeah. Well,
so you know.
I know you're not a huge Madonna fan, but I have seen 5 or 6 Madonna's concerts over the years.
That's an absolute no.
I haven't seen her last 3 concerts just because I want my memory of her as the young Madonna in my mind. I don't know if that makes sense, but I have to say every one of her shows was brilliant. She's got a team of people that puts together the most creative, artistic show that is so fun and entertaining. And I'm sorry, she's the queen.
Nobody wants to see a 60-year-old woman grabbing her crotch. From the front row. I don't want to see it.
Yet Cher is selling out tours, and she's in her 70s.
Well, she don't grab her patootie either.
Well, she grabs this and that.
C. Tomlin says, "What about J-Lo?" Listen, we saw J-Lo in Vegas.
J-Lo.
She's a great entertainer. She is.
Oh my God, J-Lo.
She's a good entertainer, but a great one? Nah, time will tell.
I don't know.
Time will tell.
Her dance hit songs were just phenomenal at that theater in Vegas that we saw her. Wow, that was memorable. Yeah. And we were close Remember, we were close to the stage, but there was some drunk. Well, she was on drugs, I think, all in front of us, and you were trying. People were throwing.
We don't need to bring these good people into that experience. Well,
bring it up every
anyway,
time we talk about J-Lo.
well, there was this drunk woman. It's Vegas. There was this drunk woman in front of us dancing, and we had great seats. I mean, my gosh, we literally.
But she wouldn't.
But she wouldn't sit down, and she was ruining the experience for all of us.
Yeah,
so the
people were
girl sitting on the side of me decided that we would devise a plan to throw loose change at her back until she sat down.
But she never sat down.
So the minute people in the row was getting, you know, I'm tongue-tied. They were aware of what we were doing, so they were passing change down to us until she sat down. And we just kept tossing. The coins got bigger and bigger. I think we stopped at quarters. So if she looked down at her feet, she probably had like a $3.20.
I think she was
at her feet.
She had to have been on drugs. That her behavior was not.
We just kept hurling little pennies at her, then dimes, and then nickels, and then quarters, and until the change ran out. And she did sit down eventually. She kept looking, turning around. I'm like, what?
But I thought the lady next to you was going to go down and wring her neck. Seriously.
Wow.
Anyway, the show was fabulous.
But you have to also in that show, same show. They were so rowdy and so yelling, interrupting. J-Lo stopped the music. She turned up the house lights and she said to the people up at the top, if you don't settle down, you're going to be removed. She stopped her show because they were so, remember?
Yeah.
She stopped the music. She said, we're not having it. You want to enjoy the show? You can stay. You don't, you can leave. Now that much I do respect. So anyway, y'all, listen, I know it's Super Bowl Sunday and we didn't want to get on here talking forever.
Woohoo!
So I did want to say
Super Spreader Sunday.
So this is
This
is a regular Sunday thing. I'm going to be here with JC just talking about the news of the week and, you know, average stuff that comes up. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Now, look, I have a website. I don't know if you guys know. It's my influencer website. It's where you can go shopping.
Amazon, right?
Amazon influencing, yes.
Yeah. He's got some good shit.
Anyway, go there and check it out. It's still in its infancy stage. I'm always making changes to it. So you can go here. And if you guys shop on Amazon, you can go here and you can do your thing.
I think it's one of the best pages on Amazon.
Boy, I pay you well, boy. Those compliments just keep coming. Yeah.
Please.
Anyway, you can click on the link in the banner on this page also that brings you to Amazon. What?
And where can you find?
Oh, you can find JC on TikTok.
At
Lord John B. On TikTok. No?
Lord
underscore John
Don't
B.
forget that underscore.
Yeah, Lord underscore John B.
Yeah. Soon. I have been remiss.
Yes. JC's page is different from mine. He likes to post old movies and clips and stuff like that. And then they go viral sometimes. They do.
But fun clips, not the same tired clips everybody else posts. I do the ones that are unexpectedly fabulous. Yeah, you heard me.
Okay, I guess. There you go. Anyway, so yeah, I'm not going to be doing lives on TikTok anymore, I don't think, as of right now. I'm letting TikTok cool down and get its head together.
Yeah, you say that now.
But you can come back here
wink.
Tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. I'll be doing my lives here. And it'll be I'll be back over on the couch and I'll be doing it from my iPhone, but it'll just be my lives, but just here on YouTube.
And don't forget to look out for After Dinner Chat with JC and the stuff I send JC.
Right. And we started a new thing called JC Ponders.
But does he? That is the question.
But does he? But listen, thank you guys for showing up and supporting us. I know Planet Mama, I see that you're here. Thanks for all of your support. C. Tomlin, I see that you're here. How are you?
Somebody asked how long
we've been together. Shout outs. Rachel B, how you doing?
We've been together 13 years. Wow.
Seems like 30.
No, it don't.
It does. Shirley Lake, how you doing? Thanks for popping in.
Woohoo!
But yeah, I appreciate you guys. You guys are my ride or dies, and I love you for it. I really, really do.
All right.
So just go click on the banners, click anywhere and go shopping and do your thing. There's new t-shirts in the in my personal Lord Timothy's store, so go there. It's just, I'm taking a break from TikTok. I need to step back to see what's going on.
Bye, C. Tomlin.
So thanks, guys. I appreciate tongue-tied. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. Hey, look, if who knows? I may do another week on TikTok, so I can tell you guys. Well, I gotta wean you off.
Oh,
I gotta wean. I have 200.
TikTok, you don't stop. TikTok,
I have 200,000 followers there. If they don't know that I'm over here,
over 300,000.
Oh dear God, I have to wean them.
Almost 500,000.
I have to wean them over to the other social media websites. I mean, come on. I gotta go see what they're talking about. Who knows? Who knows?
Hey. All right, people. Goodbye.
Okay, guys. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Happy Sunday.
Bye-bye.